You ever notice how it's always the folks who shout the loudest about community standards who end up losing their minds over a trash can? Yeah, that happened. And I don't mean a little neighborhood tiff. I'm talking full-on suburban warfare. 57 destroyed trash cans, an Escalade with more dents than a demolition derby car, and one bulletproof concrete can that turned the HOA queen into a local legend for all the wrong reasons. Picture this. Tuesday at dawn, I'm wrestling two teenagers into something resembling clean clothes. Coffee percolating, sun barely up. Then right on schedule, there's that familiar crack, like a bat against a mailbox. I step outside, and there it is. Again, garbage exploded across my driveway, pieces of my new trash cans scattered everywhere, and Brenda Whitmore's pearl white Escalade barreling away, not a hint of regret. And man, you'd think maybe it was an accident, but by the fourth time in 1 week. Please. She even had the nerve to roll down her window, look me dead in the eye, and say, "Oh my, these streets are just so narrow." Hope you weren't attached to that old thing, you know what I mean? Like, what do you even say to that? Here's the lay of the land. My name's Marcus Holloway. I'm 45, been an electrician more than half my life, just coming off a divorce, trying to hold on to joint custody of Emma and Tyler. Pinewood Gardens is supposed to be a fresh start. Quiet Ohio suburb, lawns trimmed like marine haircuts, mailboxes approved in exactly 3 colors, and this invisible web of rules hanging over everything. And Brenda, she's the self-appointed compliance officer, not a real title, just her personal crusade. Retired bank manager, best friends with the HOA president, the kind of person who knows every bylaw by heart and probably dreams in violation codes. My trouble corner lot means I gotta leave my trash can by the curb right in the path of her morning power walk. I replaced that can 4 times in 1 month, $92 down the drain, kids' mortified custody evaluator making notes about neighborhood instability. Meanwhile, Brenda's giving me that little smirk like she's just daring me to push back. And when I did finally say something real polite, just, "Hey, about the trash can situation," she cut me off sugary as can be, talking about placement timing adjustments, as if there's a secret hour where the garbage fairy comes by unnoticed. So I started digging. Turns out public right-of-way is city business, not HOA. They can't tell me squat about my can as long as it's out on pickup day. I set up a doorbell camera, pulled the city code, even got Mrs. Olivia across the street to back me up. She'd watch Brenda swerve for my can like she was aiming. When Brenda started flooding the neighborhood app with posts about my reckless endangerment, I laughed it off until City Hall called me with 4 identical complaints, all submitted at 2:47 a.m. Same handwriting, different witnesses. Nice try. First board meeting was a circus. I brought my evidence videos, survey, legal opinion from a property rights attorney named Amanda Sterling, and laid it all out. Brenda's hands were shaking as she clutched her water. Board president tried to table it, but the damage was done. The real kicker, Brenda cornered me in the parking lot, spatting something about people like you thinking rules don't apply. Racial undertones so thick you could cut them with a wire stripper. I got it all on video. That night I promised my kids we'd stick it out, but inside I knew things were about to get uglier. Next came the fine parade. Brenda started hitting me with violation notices for everything: grass 25, too high mailbox, unauthorized, Navy 3, tiny tears in a window screen. Each came with a $50 fine, 10 days to pay. Funny thing, I walked the neighborhood, found 14 other homes with the same violations, including the board president. Only mine got the official treatment. That's when I met Dale Kowalski at Home Depot, 23 years pouring concrete. He grinned and said, "As long as your can fits, doesn't matter what it's made of." And suddenly the gears in my head started turning. That weekend, the kids and I poured 60-pound tons of concrete into the shell of a regular trash can, reinforced with rebar drainage holes and all. Looked perfectly normal on the outside. Monday, I set it in the usual spot. Brenda showed up at 6:15, gave it a suspicious look, and rammed it at her usual speed. Thunk! Not the crunch of plastic, but the solid, soul-crushing reality of concrete. Her Escalade's running board folded up, but my can just sat there like it was mildly annoyed. She tried again from a new angle, same result, more damage to her SUV, none to my trash can. Legally, I was bulletproof. Now Brenda's desperation hit overdrive. Late-night flashlight missions in my driveway trying to weigh the trash can, asking neighbors about unusual concrete purchases, filing complaints with the city about unauthorized structures. Inspector came out, shrugged, said, "Lady, it's a trash can, not a swimming pool." HOA started sending letters demanding property access for compliance. I hit back with Fourth Amendment law. No court order, no entry. My trash can became a local legend. Kids on Elm started a betting pool for daily collision outcomes. My daughter was both horrified and weirdly proud. Then, Patricia Lopez, the only board member with common sense, tipped me off. Brenda was pushing for board approval on all sorts of contracts, sidewalk repairs, playground maintenance, always with Whitmore Construction LLC, her family company. Public records showed $23,400 in HOA work. Every job underbid just enough to always win every vote with Brenda's rubber stamp. That wasn't just bullying, that was fraud. I gathered every contract, every payment, every board vote, sent it all to Amanda Sterling. The picture was clear. Brenda was funneling HOA dues right into her family's pocket, using her vendetta against me as a smokescreen. We built a coalition. Mrs. Olivia rounded up neighbors. Jim Torres kept watch for retaliation. Patricia worked on a financial audit. We started a petition, organized a Facebook group, lined up Channel 7's investigative team, even planned the board meeting showdown. Brenda panicked. Spray-painted "MOVE" on my trash can, filed anonymous gas company complaints, hired a private security firm to surveil my house. Even stuck a GPS tracker under my work truck, illegal as hell. When her insurance claim for the Escalade damage got denied, thanks to my camera footage, the fraud unit got involved. Everything boiled over at the next board meeting. Room-packed, news cameras rolling, everyone waiting for the showdown. Officer Martinez showed up with a warrant, insurance fraud, and stalking charges. Brenda cornered, went nuclear, screamed about outsiders ruining the neighborhood, played the victim card, tried to tear up my evidence, got restrained by 2 neighbors. The board voted unanimously to suspend her pending investigation right as the cops cuffed her to a chair. Public humiliation justice served concrete cold. Aftermath. Brenda resigned, the DA pressed charges. The board president got replaced by Patricia Lopez, and every homeowner got a refund check after the audit found $47,000 in overcharges. My concrete trash can is now in the community center lobby, complete with a plaque, "Property Rights Protected 2023. Kids designed the new playground, funded by the recovered money. Our story went viral, got cited in state reform cases, even helped pass new HOA laws. I started a scholarship for local students who show grit against injustice. My own kids became activists. Tyler's running a YouTube channel about HOA disasters, and my business is booming with referrals from neighbors who saw me stand up and win the right way. Some folks learned their lesson the hard way. Brenda lost her board seat, her business, her Escalade, and learned not to pick a fight with a neighbor who fights back with concrete evidence. So what do you think? Does your neighborhood have a Brenda? Would you have gone to war over a trash can? Drop your story in the comments. Let's keep exposing the HOA madness. And if you stuck with me to the end, hit subscribe for the next saga, because out here in the burbs, justice tastes even sweeter when it's served up with a side of creative problem solving and a crowd cheering you on.